Look at the picture. See the skull. Visible Frankenstein controls. The Brain Thoughts broadcasting radio. The Frankenstein earphone radio. The latest new skull reforming to contain all Frankenstein controls.
Okay, guys, Frankenstein Control is brought to us tonight by some folks called HyperApp Games. They want us to know about a great game they've developed for Apple devices. It's available in the App Store for $3.99 if you have an iPad or an iPhone. It's called John Wick Adventure, and it is a totally and completely legit tie-in with the famous film starring Keanu Reeves. I've been sent a promotional they want me to read here. A guy named Andy from HyperApp Games, and his email contained a suspicious amount of Chinese characters. But he asked me to read this on air, so we're doing it.
Okay.
I also want to say that the thumbnail he sent me is just a veritable mosaic of Photoshop. We have centermost a Lamborghini with Keanu behind the wheel. He appears to be Keanu from the first Matrix movie, though. Shooting a Mac 10 out the passenger side is what looks like a color-swapped Elsa. And the Lamborghini's front appears to have eyes and a face in the style of the Cars movies. So, here is the little blurb from the App Store. John Wick Adventure. Jonathan Wick is a mafia man who has the proficiency at violence. He wants to quit, but his boss says, "I will kill you." Can you help him? There is much adventure in this action game. Let me tell you about the features. Weapons. John Wick is the master at weapons. He will use assault weapons, stealth weapons, Second Amendment weapons, and his Bankai weapons to dispatch his detractors. How many can you defeat? Levels. There are many places you must destroy the mafias. They include Chinatown, New York, Paris, Equestria, and more. Allies. Team up with pals to win the day. Purchase new characters like Samurai Jack and Principal Obama in the App Store.
Principal Obama!
Check your credit with Easy Score. It is fast and free. Have you wanted to check your credit score today? Click link and enter credit card number. You will get your credit score. It's just that easy. That was included as part of the promo, so I read it.
Okay. I can't see anything going wrong with that.
Yeah, it sounds legit. The email ends there with a jumble of Chinese characters that I put them into Google Translate, and it says serpent and dentist. So that's all I can make of that.
Sponsored by Snake Dentist.
Yeah.
All I want for Christmas is my 2 front fangs.
Somebody's got to take care of those fangs.
Mm-hmm.
I imagine it requires an extra 4 years to, manage the venom sacs and all that.
Speaking of the hottest new games on the market, welcome to Frankenstein Control's E3 special. Whoa, put that in the tags. We'll get all the hits now. Woo! Oh, I'm your very own Wario. Otherwise known as Taylor Russell. In front of me is Waluigi, otherwise known as B-Rai.
Yep, I am the world's only bootleg man.
And to my left, the Luigi of the group, Adam Ship.
I thought I was Luigi.
Yeah.
No, you're Waluigi.
Yeah, because you're the evil version of me.
Well, if anyone, Adam would be Yoshi.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Or
Well, see, that's going too obvious. They'll suspect that.
Yeah.
That's how we'll get caught for copyright infringement.
No, it's okay. You just need to change like 2 letters of the name. So I'm Joshy.
Oh, okay. Well, then, this is Joshy, everyone. Hello.
Them. I'm going to eat the Goombas and make an oog.
Goombas.
You made an oog, everybody. I gotta clean it up now. It's bullshit.
And I'm going to throw it.
No! Don't do it. You'll make the baby cry. So, yes. As the day we're recording it, E3 is in full swing. So I thought we'd probably get some of that out of the way now.
None of us were invited.
Ah, yes. Well, I was.
Why didn't you bring us?
I was invited to my computer by myself, and I watched E3.
I was invited, but I was in the air conditioning vents the whole time. So
see a lot.
I was at A3, but I didn't really see or hear anything. Just muffled screaming.
There's a whole
From
wave...
you or from the...
Both.
Oh.
I did get trapped in the fans a couple times.
There's like a whole wave of muffled, raucous screaming that was like the Shadow of the Colossus reveal.
That was a pretty good reveal, though. I mean, I think if any time we were to be transparent about this, we're recording this on Tuesday of this week, just so that, like, everybody knows where we are in the E3 timeline. Because, like, by the time this airs, we'll probably be already out of date.
2 days out of date.
That's incredible. That's might as well be a year out of date in internet time.
Yeah.
So, like, I watched the Shadow of the Colossus, like, trailer. Is it, like, a redo of the original game, or is it a whole new game?
Well, it looks like a redo of the original game, because, like, a lot of the original fellas...
Colossi.
Yeah, Colossi were there. They were chilling out in their suits of stone and pubic hair. And everything...
moss.
Everything looked... Pubic moss. Which, I kind of want pubic moss instead of pubic hair. That sounds like it'd be nice.
Glue a bunch of merkins to some statuary and set them at the boy.
Just stop bathing and moisten your pubic area and sit in the sun a lot. And then you'll have your own pubic moss.
Oh, good.
Or fungus, same thing.
Yeah, or you'll die. It's fine.
Or just get arrested.
Or that, depending on where you are. Just so you know, it is a fundamental law of the universe that the moment you're nude outside, it will be in front of an elementary school, whether you walked out of your own house or not.
Yeah.
No matter where you walked out from.
Even if you're in your backyard.
Mm-hmm. The minute you take off your clothes, you're next to an elementary school. Mm-hmm. And you're going to the jail. Where they won't have the new Mario Brothers game. Fucking, what was it? Mario Odyssey?
Yeah.
Holy fucking shit. B-Ride, did you see the video for that?
I did not.
It's fucking amazing.
You get to be a dinosaur.
Really?
And a man.
A dinosaur and a man. What is this?
You get to be all kinds of shit. It's amazing.
Mario can possess the souls of the living now.
Oh,
Yes.
Well, that's terrifying.
It is, a little bit. I mean, it's funny when he jumps into like a robot body or a T-Rex, but they show him just jumping into a human man.
Yeah.
Just kind of walking around.
You're a mother who sucks a cocks in hell.
Yeah, for the folks at home who hadn't seen this, Mario can now throw his hat at things and animals and people and everything, and he can throw it, and then he just becomes them for a while, and then he can just jump back out. Mario's basically a ghost. Maybe that's it. Maybe this is like some Yu Yu Hakusho shit in the beginning, like a baby Toad's about to get hit by a car, and he's like, "Look at the fuck out!" And he pushes him out of the way and gets hit, and then like a blue-haired Peach shows up. And he's like, "Gonna take you to the afterlife." Well, we're full.
Here's an egg with a penguin in it.
Yeah. And then you become the spirit Mario, and you go through town possessing people, and it becomes less like Yu Yu Hakusho at that point.
And Luigi has red hair and a sword.
Yes, and Luigi shows up, and he's like, "Mario Meshi, it's time to fuck some, bitches. Here we go."
It's time to fuck some mushrooms.
It's a very, very mature title. They've gone in very different directions.
A rapid departure from earlier titles of the series.
So, besides all that horse shit, it is true that Mario can inhabit the bodies of, like, even things like bullet bills and fireballs and shit. It's amazing. Like, it looks like everything behaves differently, too.
Did he get
like,
stabbed by a mortal blade or something?
I'm uncertain.
It's the power of the hat.
Oh, yeah, his hat has Banjo-Kazooie googly eyes on it.
It's like his hat itself is possessed by something else, and
The
that
devil.
allows him to possess things.
It's the devil. Let's not mince words here. Mario and the Satan.
the
They
literal
formed a dark pact.
Yes.
the literal devil of Christian reckoning.
The opening cutscene is just, "It is I, Lucifer. Mario, you are my greatest pawn."
And Mario's just like,
Jumps into
woohoo!
It's me, Satan.
The game is loosely based on the Divine Comedy.
Yes. Every level. Oh my god, that's right.
There's 7 layers of hell. There's always 7
Levels
seven
in a Mario
worlds in
game.
Mario.
Yeah, it has like the realm of man, and then it has the realm where everybody is punished for sloth and gluttony and lying and
The ice world.
yeah. The lake of ice that Satan is frozen halfway in.
No, it's just an ice world.
Oh, it's just Ice World?
And featuring Iggy the Koopa Kid in the role of Judas Iscariot.
So does that mean Bowser has been Jesus the whole time?
I guess so.
Oh, man.
One of you will betray me.
Well, Wow.
Featuring Peach of Magdalene.
Welcome to our Christian podcast. Frankenstein Control. Very Christian friendly. Everyone loves us. But yes, all goofs aside, B-Rye, I know that there was some very relevant, interesting news at the Bethesda panel where they were like, you're going to play Skyrim again. But also, they announced something more interesting than that, which was...
Hey, remember that thing that you get that's free? Now you can pay for it.
Mm-hmm.
What?
Yeah.
That's a gross oversimplification.
Yeah, so Bethesda was like, today we're gonna... Fuck, what's it called? Like the Creators Club, I think they're calling it? I think so. They're calling it the Creators Club, and what it is like... So everybody was like super immediate to be like, oh fuck, it's paid mods! It's the end times, Todd Howard! And like... cursing his name with like a sacrificed goat, because you remember like when Skyrim came out, they're like, paid mods might be a thing, isn't that neat? And everyone's like, fuck no, it's not, shut up. And that caused some controversy. Well, they're at it again, but they're at it not stupid this time, at least from what it seems right now. So what they're doing is now they're starting a program where mod creators can send in a proposal to Bethesda, and if Bethesda approves the proposal, they sign a contract and they pay the modder to make the mod.
Damn.
Yeah.
That's kind of cool.
And then it can be bought on the Creators Club market. And so, like...
For Skyrim?
For Skyrim and Fallout.
Cool. And is it only going to be supported for the new version of Skyrim and not the original version?
You know, I couldn't tell you.
I don't have the original version because I don't want all my mods to... Oh, no, I don't have the new version. I have the original version because I don't... I want my mods to still work.
Right.
And I have too many of them that I like too much that I've come to rely on.
So far they've said that every mod, they're like, you know, they're not trying to interfere with people's mods as much as they can. Obviously, there's like some things. It's like, you know, oh, the mods you buy might interfere with the mods you already have. But like, so far on their facts page, they're like, we want free mods to stay free. You know, this isn't going to cause any mods to go away. So I thought that was pretty interesting to, like, you know, a lot of these modders made shit for free and for no money. And, well, some of them get donations, which is pretty neat. I mean, I'm a fucking disgusting leech, but a lot of people give money, and that's incredibly kind and awesome of them. Like, fuck yeah to those guys. But, like, you know, generally they don't do stuff for free. Now a modder can do something for money. And, like, what'll that do? Like, I'm really interesting to see how this all plays out. That's what I'm in for. Like, I'm cautious. I'm dubious as fuck. Don't get me wrong. This could all blow up horribly and just leave Bethesda with a big gunshot blackened face like Elmer Fudd, you know? Like, they could look the fool. They could be like Daffy with their beak backwards. But... it could also be pretty cool, and that's what I'm looking forward to.
Do you think if I had the money to pay for mods, I would spend most of my time pretending I was a blue elf? Because you're right, I would.
What I'm looking forward to is that, like, there might be, like, this big collection of mods that all work real nice together. Like, I love searching for all the mods that they got on the mod market. I don't know what the fuck you call it.
Nexus?
No, not the Nexus. The one native to...
I know what you're talking about.
Bethesda.
Not Marketplace, but like Marketplace.
Bethesda Net. I don't fucking know. Anyway.
Bethnesta.
Yeah, Bethnesta. So I like getting all the mods on Bethnesta because generally speaking, all of them are mods that work with... They play nice with one another and generally don't crash.
Yeah.
Your game as badly as a Nexus mod might have the potential to.
It doesn't infest all your Skyrim files with gorillas and parrots.
Which actually sounds pretty great. I'm not gonna lie.
So, like, this was saying, when they said you're going to play Skyrim again, they meant this will revitalize your interest in Skyrim, not...
No, they're also re-releasing Skyrim.
But they already did!
I know.
They're re-releasing it.
What? How?
Adam, help us out. I
Howard.
missed that part.
Well, yeah.
That's how.
The power of Howard.
It just works. Todd, it just works, Howard.
Todd, I wish I put survival mode in the original release of Fallout 4, Howard.
Yeah.
There was some kind of like shade throwing tweet that I saw that was like making fun of something. It was, I think it was simultaneously making fun of Bethesda and people who like Bethesda games, and like the account it was posted from was Rod Broward, and it was just like Todd Howard with a mustache and sunglasses.
That guy cracks me up, man.
Yeah.
He's funny. Anyone else see anything cool in E3 before you could ditch this subject like a bad sack of potatoes?
New Kirby game.
Oh, really?
Multiplayer for the Switch.
Ah!
And it seems like they're going back to the Kirby 64 kind of formula where you can combine your powers together.
Ooh!
So you don't just have rock, you can get rock and ice together and you turn into something.
And you turn into crystal meth.
Yeah.
I swallowed a bee and a jellyfish and I turned into a hogwart.
Yep.
And I don't know. The first thing I was like, it's magic, it's Harry Potter, fine, do it.
Fund it.
Oh, you can if you swallow enough garbage, you just become the trash man.
The trash man. Just a giant pink garbage can hopping around.
Aw.
With eyes on it.
That sounds like Banjo-Kazooie.
Yeah.
Keeps coming back. Nintendo, I know their grim plan now.
See, that's throwing too many flashbacks to when you were playing Saints Row as a toilet.
Oh, that was a good time though. I liked playing
That
as...
was one of the funniest things I've ever seen.
Especially with the fucking polka gun.
Or just like
Just like a fucking toilet with this brightly flashing gun that makes all the cars start bumping up and down and makes people start dancing, and then it's just like. Can you add it? Is it legal to add a part of that song?
Probably not.
Damn it!
I love the part where you got killed in like a shootout and you died while driving, and like your vehicle, like, you know, the camera's panning out and getting fuzzier, and your toilet's corpse is just in the driver's seat of like the Zamboni or whatever the fuck you were driving.
That's right, I was driving a Zamboni.
And you're just like careening like madly because your guy is dead and not controlling the car anymore. And I just imagine like the local news, like, a toilet was shot dead today. You know?
Sounds like a drill tweet. So like, huge fucking props to Saints Row 4. Still one of the best games I've ever played. If you haven't played it, go get it. It's like cheap now.
You
it's
can be
fun.
a toilet.
You can be a toilet. What more do you want? What more do you want in life?
Can you flush?
You can't. You can flush the streets of people by killing them.
Of crime.
Yes, of course. Well, you are the crime.
If you
very much the crime in that game.
Can you flush yourself in your own toilet bowl?
Whoa. That sounds like a good way to rip a hole in the universe. Which you can do with the black hole gun. There's a black hole gun in that game. There's everything in that game. It's great.
If you want to play as a toilet, you could just buy one of the Bratz games.
See, I need that mod.
Yeah, that's a great
the mod that lets you the mod for Bratz 2000, the game that lets you play as a toilet.
Rats too.
Horrible, uncanny valley gutter skanks.
All the dialogue is changed with toilet flushing. But if you're over 30 and you're playing it, you can't actually tell the difference.
Introduce your children to the bimbofication porno tag early. Speaking of bimbos, B-Rai has something to say.
You flatterer.
Baby, you know I love you.
We went and saw Wonder Woman over the weekend.
Ah, jealous.
Great movie, by the way.
wanted to
Highly
see
recommended. It's pretty cool.
Was it wondrous?
It was.
Oh my goodness. Out of you are on the ball. Actually, you're not on the balls because it's Wonder Woman.
Well, the humor in this particular anecdote does not derive from Wonder Woman at all. It's just the previews there's a new shark movie that's out, like Jaws, or, you know, a new horror shark movie. Mm-hmm. And I've been seeing the previews for a while now, and it's called like 47 Meters Down or something, and it's like these two, I guess, like rich, like, oh my god kind of girls go on vacation, and they get in a shark cage, and then the shark cage detaches from the ship, and they're like on the shallow ocean bottom, and there's giant, huge, computer generated great white sharks circling them.
Yeah.
And I was like, wow.
The Simple Life, Atlantis.
Exactly. Anytime I see like people being attacked by a shark, or a shark as the source of horror, I first start laughing because I remember the words of Danny Sexbang when he's like, if I was ever killed by a shark, as I was, coming toward, I saw it coming towards me, I'd just be thinking to myself, oh, this was completely avoidable. This was just completely avoidable. I didn't have to go swimming. I could have stayed on land where I was evolutionarily designed to be. I did not have to come into the water and expose myself to this risk. This is on me.
I did not expose myself to 350 million years of streamlined evolution coming right towards me.
But
That's another Danny quote, and it's amazing. I love that. Like, I say that about sharks all the time now.
streamlined evolution. But Liz and I were watching, I think the first time, it was like the first or second time we saw the preview. This was like at our house though, and we're just like watching TV, and that preview comes on, and like the narrator's like, the ideal vacation becomes a nightmare, and like the the standard narrator voice.
The ideal vacation becomes a nightmare.
Yeah, and then it's gotten to the point of the trailer where enough action has come, and it's building to a head that the next thing is going to be like
It was building to a head.
Yeah, and the next thing that's going to come up on the screen is the title of the movie, and I just turned to Lisa and I said, Bad Time, Shark Time.
Just when you thought sharks were a good time.
I want just a trailer like that with the epic narrator type guy, but the script is clearly written by like a 3-year-old with the very tenuous grasp of the English language, and they're just like, shark bad coming for you. It's really scary, gonna get ya. Eat you up, don't want to go in the water no more, Daddy. I don't want to write this anymore.
But after
My hand's getting tired. They all die in the end.
But we've been deriving a lot of enjoyment out of the Bad Time, Shark Time. And then when we saw Wonder Woman and we were like sitting through the previews before that, we realized that naming convention works really well for other movies you want to mock.
Uh-huh.
And they're doing a Clue movie, as in Clue the board game.
They already made that.
they already made it.
They already did it.
They're doing another one.
Are they Tim Curry gonna be in a wheelchair butler? So they what? Fuckers.
They're doing another one. I think it might be called a different thing. It looked an awful lot like Clue. I gotta be honest, I wasn't really paying attention when they actually showed the real title of the movie.
It comes up and it's Clubert Dubert.
But the premise is it's like, sort of Victorian-y times, and there's people on a train. More like, Victorian times.
So is it Murder on the Orient Express?
No, maybe, I don't know. But it's clear that something is going to go down on this train, and Melissa goes, bad time, train time. And then there's like some actual horror movie that comes on after that, where first it shows like a scary doll and it's like playing creepy music, and Melissa says, oh, bad time, doll time. And then it turns into like a voodoo kind of movie where like this girl is using, this is all speculation based on the preview, but the girl is using like dark powers that she unlocks with the Ouija board to take vengeance on those who have wronged her, and I guess it gets out of hand, as these things frequently do in horror movies. And it showed like she's like a high school student, a 30-something-year-old high school student who's being harassed by other 30-something high school students.
Yeah,
and,
as is typical.
It's like a bunch of mean girls are like tripping her and hitting her and making fun of her, and we were like, and Lisa's like, oh no, it's bad time, bitch time. we amused ourselves with that quite a bit, and that's ongoing. We're still doing that.
Speaking of good time, girl time, so you liked the Wonder Woman?
I did.
I'm jealous of you. I wanted to go see it.
It's a good movie with a strong female protagonist.
That's good.
She's literally strong.
Yes, actually physically strong, but also character strong, I suppose. I haven't seen the movie.
It's good.
Is she a strong, independent superheroine who don't need no Superman?
Yeah, she don't need no Superman. There is a man in the movie, but she has to save him frequently.
There is a man, but he is not super.
Mm-hmm.
He is a regular man.
He is a regular man.
And they address him as such.
They go, regular man, the city is in danger. He's like, what the fuck you call me?
The fuck you want me to do? Why you people always tell me this? I feel terrible about all the orphans who died in that fire, but what the fuck you want me to do?
This sounds like a job for a regular man. And by job, I mean the job that I do because I am employed.
I'm a CPA. I'm going to go file some papers. I'll see ya. And then the movie is just an hour and a half of him, like, slowly, like, checking a document and then, like, entering the data into, like, an old computer.
It's an 8-hour-long movie all about data entry.
Sounds like you scored real big at Sundance.
Oh, speaking of data...
oh, God.
I thought of, not to put us on the same tangent we were on last time, but I did think of another Star Trek thing that amused me very greatly. I amused myself with this and was laughing at it, even though I felt like shit the other day when I got sick.
Yeah.
So I watched an episode recently where the episode begins with the crew of the Enterprise being informed that there have been some startling and interesting discoveries back on Earth in a cave of some historical artifacts that date back about like 400 years before the Enterprise, so like 150 years ago our time, like sort of around the end of the Civil War. It's the episode that all the Samuel Clemens stuff happens from the TNG edits with the yeah. It's that one. And one of the artifacts, there's like a number of artifacts in this cave that are discovered that date from like 1860 something. And the reason the Enterprise crew is apprised of this is that one of the artifacts appears to be Data's head. Data's severed, lifeless, but still like, not decomposed because he's a robot.
Yeah.
Head. And they're like looking at it, and everyone's
finding Brent Spiner's head anywhere would be shocking.
It really would. I mean, Jesus.
More shocking than finding a normal person's head.
Mm-hmm.
The mafia once scared Brent Spiner by putting
his own head in his bed with
him. He was fine. He wasn't decapitated or anything. He woke up, looked down, and did like the Data like slightly shocked look.
No screaming.
Just, It's very unnerving.
This is very unnerving.
I'll have to add this to my collection. He
Uh,
has a china cabinet full of his own heads.
like that other frightening person from the Oz books that I was telling you about.
Yeah.
We'll get to that one in a second. It's from the same book that the Wheelers are from.
Head Chop McPherson.
Yeah. Anyhow, they do carbon testing on the head, and they're like, "Yo, this head is like 500 years old," and they're like, "Data, could it be anyone other than you?" And he's like, "No, Captain, this is definitely my head." And he's like, "At some point in the future, I will be transported back in time to the year 1860 something, and I will die there." And he's like, "It will occur. It has occurred." And so then,
And of course, Data's like, "Peace, cool.
Yeah,
I guess I'm a robot.
I can't wait for this.
Yeah.
I'm stoked, frankly.
please end my interminable suffering.
At least I don't gotta look at none of y'all's ugly dicks no more."
All the characters are upset by the news that Data is evidently going to die in such a weird fashion. And he's like, "Well, I'm an android, and I'm basically a perfect being, and I don't have a set lifespan. So there's up until now, there's been no guarantee that I even would die.
Yeah.
Like, I could potentially live hundreds and hundreds of years because I'm not going to get sick, I'm not going to get cancer, I'm not going to get old.
He could get robot cancer.
Well, that's what he could get robot AIDS.
Yeah.
I'm outlive all you buttheads.
I'm going to watch your children die of old age.
Oh, God.
I'll have the secret to immortality and not share it with any of your children. I'll share it with everyone else, but not anyone descended from you. I will make sure your bloodline eventually ends.
By my hands, if necessary.
By my cold, unfeeling robot hands.
And then, he puts his hands in front of the screen, and it's just like a stop-motion-y Terminator style, like...
I was going to say it's like straight up like a pair of pliers.
I'm a monster.
Clicking, like whirring pairs of pliers.
Data's like, my cold robot hands.
It's just an overlay of a Ren and Stimpy style close-up drawing of his hands.
Yes.
These hands.
Oh yeah, so like various characters are trying to console him while he's trying to reassure them that he does not need to be consoled.
Because he's a fucking robot and he's like, whatever.
And he actually draws comfort from the fact that
eventually all this is going to end.
Yeah, and like it's interesting. He finds it interesting from a scholarly point of view that he knows he'll die at some point.
Yeah.
Man, I wish we could all feel like Data.
And well, the thing is, like, the scene that made me laugh that I originally started talking about this for is he's in 10 Forward, the ship's bar, with Geordi, his frequent companion.
His brosif.
And they're discussing this very topic, and he's saying basically that, and he's like, I'm fine, Geordi, I will die someday, and I'm okay with that knowledge. If anything, this makes me feel more human. And he gets up and like walks away from Geordi. Geordi is still sitting at the bar, looking, somberly at his drink, while in the background, Data like walks, away from the camera. He's slightly out of focus, but you can still see him and the door and everything. But the action is focused on Geordi. And like the doors to 10 Forward, like the double doors slide open in the manner that they do, and Data walks through them, and then they slide closed. Mm-hmm. And I really, really badly wanted, as he's walking away, like you just see the doors like slide open, and you hear like piano music, and it's like a 19th century saloon. And he walks through the doors, and the doors close, and you hear.
Oh boy.
He's like, this could happen hundreds of years from now, Geordi. We don't know. And
it just happens immediately.
It happens immediately for no reason at all, and there's no B plot about it. Like the episode completely moves away from it.
Yeah, the whole rest of the episode is just Worf and Alexander go to a state fair.
Yeah,
and Worf chokes on a corn dog.
They go bowling.
Yeah. And then Worf chokes on a corn dog and becomes paralyzed.
I just imagine that Geordi and Data are at the bar, and Data's like, there's no need to worry, Geordi. This could happen 100 years from now. And then just guy in from behind the bar takes out a pistol and shoots him in the head. Geordi doesn't react at all.
Just staring somberly at his drink. Oh.
No. The guy named shoots him in the face, but it like cuts his head off.
Yeah.
So Fallout style.
Yeah, Princess Mononoke style. Just swing, head flies off. I didn't miss your Fallout style thing, by the way. That totally happens in that game a lot.
If you shoot someone in the head, it will cleanly sever their neck.
Yeah. And like, I'm glad that happens. Like, this is definitely one of those things where, like, yes, this is a immersion breaking glitch that's dumb looking. So of course I love it.
Yeah. I'm the opposite, and will reload my combat save and start over if that happens.
What if their head blows up with like eyeballs and brains and shit?
That's
that
fine.
Cool? That's cool with you?
Yes,
That's cool with you? You're just cool John F. Kennedying everybody? You're some sort of barbarism?
spraying all over the back of the limousine.
Mm-hmm. And then Codsworth just like is trying to like...
Codsworth is dressed in Jackie Onassis' pink dress with a little hat on there.
Flailing the arms around trying to pick up the pieces.
That's really horrific.
Yeah.
I think that's the most horrific joke, and I use that word loosely.
I only say that because it really disturbs me. Like, that is the most horrific part of that video, and like every time I see it, I get like a cold chill, or I'm like, oh, Jesus, fuck. And the only way I deal with that kind of shit is fucking putting you people through it.
That's wwhy I make all of the extremely dark and horrific jokes that I do, because it helps me cope with the anxieties they stem from.
Exactly. See, we don't think this shit's funny. We think it's utterly fucking terrifying.
And making fun of it's the only way to deal with it.
The only way!
Sorry, I'm like extra phlegmy for some fucking reason.
You're a phlegm boy. You're a fucking Kaufman. Andy Kaufman.
Kaufman is also dead.
He's been dead a while. And then Jim Carrey made a movie about him, and he's like, oh, they put bacon in my belly, haha. And then he died bald. There, that's the movie. Saved you some minutes.
Bad time, bald time?
Yeah, bad time, bald time. That's the Andy Kaufman movie.
And he was so bald, he died.
To explain at the end of the movie when he's suffering from like stage 1,000,000 cancer, and he's like, I'll find if doctors can't help me, I'll seek something else maybe, I guess. And then, like, he goes to, like, this healing guru man in India or some shit. And he's, like, lying on the table. And, like, this guru is supposed to be able to, like, pull the tumors out of your body with his bare healing hands. And, like, as he's doing it, he clearly sees, like, behind him is, like, bacon. And, like, covered in, like, bacon and red corn syrup. Essentially, like, to fake pulling the tumor out. And then he, like, turns his head over and, like, an above shot where he's like, ha 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 ha, and, like, he just, like, laughs at the ceiling, and then it, like, match cuts to him in a coffin dead.
Jesus!
I saw this movie when I was, like, before middle school, too. So I was just like, well, that was weird. I just watched Jim Carrey die of cancer. Cool beans.
That's,
Sounds, he's pretty cool, pretty rad.
Was it a similar reaction that I had to the dancing chicken?
No! Please, let's tell that story.
Give me a second. I need to look up what the movie's called.
Okay, yeah.
I can find it.
We'll give you some time, Schnookums, don't worry.
While you're doing that, and while we were on the subject of severed heads, earlier I mentioned something about severed heads in Oz. In the very same book that the Wheelers are from, like, just as I'd, like, calmed down from the shock and horror of the Wheelers, and my parents were like, see, it's a fun book, we'll move past the Wheelers, whether they're okay, it's okay, let's just keep going on with the book, you'll like the book, come on. And I was like, alright. And then, I think she's the main antagonist, I think she is Ozma of Oz.
Wait a minute, this is sounding familiar.
She is some kind of queen or princess or sorceress, and feel free to correct me in comments if I am completely wrong about that. Also, for the record, I do not care. But she has a, like, dresser filled with severed heads.
Yes.
And, like, spare heads that she just, like, she changes them as you would change, like, a ball gown for, whatever occasion she's in. And I'm like, that's not okay! That's fucked up! That is horrifying to a child!
Yeah.
What the hell is wrong with you people in the early 1900s? Why did you think this was cool?
Do you think that inspired that one character in Reboot? What's her name? Hexadecimal?
The one with the faces that switch around?
Yeah, where she, like, has a whole bunch of masks in her, like, lair. And,
Probably.
like, when she's, like, monologuing at you, she'll, like, put her hand in front and her mask will change, but she never moves her mouth or anything like that, so it's like she's changing her faces.
I didn't watch a lot of Reboot.
I love that show, man. And despite it looking like hot horse hockey bull poppy poopy, it actually is still pretty good. And, like, actually made me laugh a few times. And, like, that surprised me. And I said, thanks, Canada.
Thanks, Canada, for your video game-based 3D show.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So,
a lot of dated references in it. It's great. Adam, you found it!
I found it. I don't know if I can pronounce it, but because it's German. But it looks like Strozek. It's a 1977 film by Werner Herzog.
Werner Herzog did that?
Yeah.
Oh my god!
And, if you know who Werner Herzog is, then you might have an inkling as to what the story's about. But
This chicken will scare Adam very much.
And as the chicken danced on the electrified ground, Adam's somber demeanor fell to bounds that could never be reached again.
yeah. The movie is this. It's like these three Germans immigrate to America. It's this guy that's kind of has a history of petty crime. His girlfriend, his on and off girlfriend, that is also a prostitute, and his old man friend, who is an old man.
Everybody's talking at me. They wonder why we're German.
But they're coming to America for the American dream, and they're kind of making everything work. One of the early scenes is in the movie is they all go to this, like, a ski lift kind of fair kind of thing. I don't know what you would call it. It's like this building and has all these little attractions with these animals in it. And, like, you put a quarter in, the animal does a trick, and then it gets a treat. And then there's, like, a ski lift up to the top of the mountain, and I forget what's up there. But
skiing probably.
I don't know. It wasn't snowy at all in this movie. But the three of them are doing fairly well. He's got a job. She's got a job. The old man is an old man. And everything is working out kind of well, but they keep falling back into their old crimey habits. And it turns out making a living for yourself was a little more difficult than they thought, so everything falls apart more and more. So the government comes and they repossess the home they were living in, or the bank comes, and his girlfriend goes back to being a prostitute and just like ditches him in a truck yard. So he decides he's gonna kill himself. So his plan is he gets a shotgun, he gets in his truck with a cinder block, ditches the truck, goes in there, turns all the animals on, and then goes up on the ski lift and shoots himself halfway through. So then this is like the end of the movie. You got the cops coming in, investigating the scene. They're just poking around, trying to make sense of everything. Got this one guy has a walkie-talkie. He talks into it. He's like, okay, we managed to stop the car across the road. We're working on getting the ski lift stopped. We can't stop the dancing chicken. And then it cuts to one of the animal attractions of a chicken on a little rotating platform, doing his chicken dance, like kicking his feet, bucking his head back and forth as it's just
like this is happening for like 5 minutes straight.
Yeah.
I'm just as a dancing fuck ass chicken, and it's just like, oh, and I turned to Adam. And he's just a broken man.
I'm slumped as far down into my chair as I can possibly be. Just looking with dead eyes at the screen.
Were you disturbed or amused?
I was broken.
Broken like the chicken.
Yeah, I did not have the capacity to react to that in the way that I needed to.
When and why were you watching this movie?
It was film class.
Yeah, it's part of the film class.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we were watching all kinds of films, and like, we saw a bunch of films, like a weird ass forgettable French movie where they were on a boat and there was a drunk ass dick boy on the fucking boat, and that's all that I remember of the fucking movie. And then there was another movie that we saw that sucked ass, and I can't even remember it. And then we saw Harold and Maude, which was genuinely a good movie, and I liked it. And it was the only thing I liked in that whole class, besides watching you destroy your own mind at Chicken Boy. And that shit was the greatest. And like, as I watched Adam slowly sink into his stupor, it was just like, the unfortunate fate of Adam Ship as he stared with glassy eyes at the screen. It was then and there that I realized that the friend I had known was gone forever.
Like, very faint in the background, it has to be the chicken music.
I'm gonna add that in.
Adam hears that in his dreams. Fucking Werner Herzog, man.
Yeah.
God, that's weird.
He was a good sport for going on the boondocks, though.
Yes, he was. I couldn't believe they actually got him. Like, I thought that was just a funny man doing an impression. No, it was him.
He's on Rick and Morty as well.
Oh, that's right, he was.
That's right. Yes, he was the president of that planet.
Some kind of huge political figure that
needed
Jerry's testicles.
Yes, I thought it was his dick.
Yeah, he was like Scroobly Booples or something. All Rick and Morty characters have a name like that.
Yeah,
it's so funny to me.
And like Jerry's like trying to find any way he can to weasel out of it, and he finds out he's a heroin addict, but then it turns out that like the atmosphere on the guy's planet is heroin or something like that, so he has to have it to live.
He's a heroin addict.
That was a good what's that guy's name?
Jerry?
No, the voice actor Bill
Hader.
No, it's not Bill Hader. No, it's Chris Parnell.
I
always think it's going to be.
Isn't it Christopher Parnell?
See, that I get confused because they were both on SNL. And
Ah,
that's where I know him from is SNL.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, he was on there. He was in like a bunch of Lonely Island type videos.
I think he's in Dick in a Box. I feel like he might be.
He has the dick.
He was in Hot Rod.
Yes, he was.
Was he?
Yeah, at the end he's the radio announcer.
Oh yes. Okay, yes.
With the Calvin and Hobbes tattoo of Calvin peeing on like TV and the internet or something.
That movie's fucking ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like,
it's Cool Beans.
Yes, the Cool Beans part in that movie, That broke me. But in a way of just, like, sheer, like... I was just taken aback at the sheer balls it took to put a scene like that in a fucking movie that people paid tickets for.
Yeah.
Like this Tim and Eric horseshit.
And that was
happening.
before Tim and Eric.
Yeah, and it's just like happening just at random. This is happening in the movie now.
I don't remember that at all.
Oh, what, really? There's this part where, like, these... I think it's him and his brother?
Yeah.
Yeah, him and his brother, they had, like, some sort of spat. And then after some reconciliation of some sort, it's the, you know, the scene of those two like, yeah, man, all right, things are okay between us. Mm-hmm. So, cool beans? Cool beans. Cool beans. Cool beans. Cool beans.
Oh,
beans.
yeah.
Cool beans. And it did this bullshit editing thing where they made like a goofy song out of just their clips of them saying cool beans.
I remember that now.
And I was like,
I remember that.
This is a movie. This is a movie. This is a movie in a theater. I can't believe, like, and, like, I sound indignant, and I was, but that's what made it so fantastic. Like, that movie's really great.
Like, this isn't Adult Swim. This is, like, some actual serious theater, movie film for theater feature-length business.
It was good. I loved it a lot. Also, that movie has the greatest scene ever with shit
The falling.
falling down the hill.
If something bad goes happen when I'm playing a game or something, if something bad goes happen, that's what I just said. If something bad goes happen, if I fuck up somehow when I'm like playing a game or doing something, like I'll use that shit in my head.
That just reminds me of that scene in Tenacious D where they're sneaking into the museum where the pig is, and it's like, 2 armed guards on the roof. That's what the guy was talking of shit. Like, there's.
It's really funny.
That's a good movie too. I highly recommend Hot Rod and Pick a Destiny. If you haven't seen either, go and watch them. They'll make you laugh at it.
Hot Rod's on Netflix.
It is. Oh wait, look at your watch. Now it's not.
Yeah.
Yeah. Speaking of, Futurama is leaving July 1st.
Futurama dragged it down with it. Clawing and screaming, "Don't take me!"
Like the ending of the terrible movie Drag Me to Hell.
Are they dragged to hell?
Yes, they are.
Oh.
It's a lady and she's dragged to hell by a curse. And it's gross and stupid.
Gross. Is the
yeah.
curse gross or just the movie?
Everything.
Oh.
Everything gross.
Was she dragged down into Hades by her penis?
Yeah, yes she is.
I thought so.
Chris O'Neill.
Is it called Bad Time, Hell Time?
Bad Time, Hell Time.
Yeah! Woo! There's Adam with the fishing rod, reeling it in.
I have a patent on that, says Satan.
It's always a bad time here in hell.
Except for me.
I love it here. It's fun. It's nice.
Front row seats to hell. Mm-hmm. Bad time, hell time. In a world where man and woman fuck each other. So our world. But only 10% of the time that doesn't happen.
You gotta say, Front Row Seats to Hell, the Pauly Shore biopic. the Pauly Shore story. There we go.
There. What happened to that guy? What?
He's in hell.
Oh.
Yeah. Didn't you see the biopic?
I didn't. I missed that one. I was busy seeing the Thomas the Tank Engine movie.
Railway to hell. Not this time, says the Fat Controller.
Sir Topham Hatt was very cross and sent Thomas to hell. Dude, wait, that reminds me of Steven. Tell us the story of the third American Tail movie.
I don't even remember the context in which he spouted it.
Steven is B-Rye's old-timey friend.
He's one of my best bros from back in the day, and still. Was and is still. Hi, Steven. And he's hilarious because over the course of our 20-plus year friendship, he will just say things that become memorable quotes and are just hilarious, but they very frequently have nothing to do. They have no attachment to any narrative or story that he's telling. He just says them out of nowhere. And one such thing that he said was, "An American Tale 3, Fievel Goes to Hell."
Wasn't he super insistent that was true? Like, that was the actual movie?
I feel like he was.
No, that's the third movie, B-Right. There's no way they would make that movie, Steven! That's what it is!
There's a bunch of songs in it and everything.
Sing one song from it. It wasn't a very good movie. I can't remember the song.
It's like Land Before Time 6. Please, God, bring the asteroid already.
American...
Do you know how many there are?
There's a fuck ton.
There's way too many Land Before Times.
It's like, now that's what I call music, except with dinosaurs.
I'm pretty sure there are over 10.
Over 10?
Yes, over 10.
Oh,
The amount...
That's a lot of time to be before.
The amount of Land Before Time sequels outnumber the age of their intended audience.
Whoa.
Wow. That's some heavy shit. That's a heavy framework in which to interpret it.
Yeah.
I remember the first one being good, the second one being iffy.
What's the second one about?
I don't remember at all.
I know at one point they go to an island and they meet a baby shark tooth.
Do they find... Yeah,
The T-Rexes.
that's where they find the baby cannibal boy. And
Yeah.
they say, "You're ours now." And then growing up, when you grow up, it's going to be a nightmare.
Let's teach him to be malnutritious.
Yeah.
Malnutrition.
So it's like in Land Before Time 7, Chompy, I guess that's his name now. Is Chompy like this, like, meth head T-Rex? And she's like, I suck your dick for some meat!
Put your meat in my mouth so I can have some meat in my mouth.
I did.
I promise not to bite it off. Is he just
The thing about the Land Before
chomping at the dick?
Chompy. They don't call Chompy for no reason.
The thing about the Land Before Time movies that I remember is, like, even while I was still actively a child in the age group of their intended audience, I was like, you need to fucking cool it with all these goddamn songs in these movies. These are really obnoxious. Why do they think we want songs?
Was the first one musical?
No, it was totally...
Yeah, it was a very,
Okay. Because I always hated musicals as a kid.
Yeah.
And I remember loving the first movie.
Yeah, it's good. It's
Yeah.
good. It's got about dinosaurs. And then they just start adding all these musical numbers and songs, and I'm like, the fuck thinks we want these songs? Like, they keep doing it. And then not only that, but when the preview for the next one comes out on the direct-to-video fucking...
Direct-to-dinosaur.
Direct-to-thing, you know, that's like featuring 10 all-new songs. I'm like, you say that like it's a selling point. And I'm literally 7 years old, and I hate this.
Yeah.
The fuck is wrong with you?
The funny thing is that, like, okay, I can tell you two reasons right now, two explanations. First off, why there are songs in those movies is because Disney did it, and they were actually good at it, and then people want that. But guess what? Second reason, reason number two, the people in charge of those productions were not Disney movie song makers.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
They were like, it's like putting, it's like early video games. They put, you know, programmers in charge of writing sweeping plots.
Yeah.
It just doesn't work out. So then you get fucking horseshit, bullshit numbers that you're like, I hate this. This is growing. This is making me grow scorn.
I want more dinosaurs and less of this shit right here.
I want to see Petrie fly, and then he does. You're like, I'm whelmed.
Yep. Oh, what else? The only other thing I remember about the movies, and I don't remember which one this is in, but it's probably like the third one or something. But there's like a drought, and they're
looking for water,
yeah,
and they go big water, and they're scared of it.
Yeah, and there's like the Triceratops character, who's I think her name is Sarah.
Sarah, yes, because Sarah tops.
Yeah.
And
And I just remember her dad being like this Herr Commandant asshole over all the water in the dinosaur village, and be like, "You've had your turn, next," and like he's rationing the water out like a communist dictator, and it's like, man, fuck you.
Fuck your racist ass dinosaurs. I think that was actually a plot point at some point. Of like
racist dinosaurs?
Of just like prejudice between dinosaur species. And with Sarah's dad at like the forefront of all of it.
Man, guy's just a constant fucking dick. How come they haven't kicked his ass out of the Great Valley?
Fucking.
They should send him to the Hidden Valley, make him in a ranch.
Sarah's dad is just wearing a giant dinosaur-sized "Make America Great Again."
No, make Pangea great again.
Yeah, and they're the one on each horn. Make Pangea great again.
Even though I'm pretty sure Pangea was way before dinosaurs.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it was probably like ultra.
At least 2 years before.
It was like all these two, at least two.
In the year of our Lord, 5000 BC.
Yes, because that is when everything was made, and there's no disputing it.
You can tell from this coloring book I have of a picture of Jesus riding a Triceratops. And also in the background there's a T-Rex and he's eating plants. Because that's what they did.
Which actually sounds pretty rad, just gonna say. Like I kinda want that picture. I hit the mic stand.
Great job.
That's what you get for putting the microphone across me. If you cross me, you'll get Sir Topham Hatted up in this bitch. And guess what?
I'll Sir Topham Hat you straight to hell.
Sir Topham Hat throws his hat like Odd Job and it just kills people.
Slices trains in half.
Yeah. No, he killed. See, Sir Topham Hatt, this is all a fucking front. He murders people and then implants their brains inside trains, and that's why they all can think and feel.
Yep.
And pine for the days where they were just humans and they could have sex and things like that. Instead, they're horrible trains, and that's why they run people over. Is the closest thing they get to human contact.
Trains can have sex. I have pictures to prove it.
No.
Here they are.
Ooh!
It's Shining Time Station, episode 59. Sylvester Matushka comes to town.
Who?
Oh, I know who that is. That's the boy who masturbates to train wrecks.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I just imagine him looking like Schemer now.
Yeah.
That's what he's scheming about. So, oh man, actually, since we're never gonna fucking talk about this again, I think I'd probably want to put this out there. When I was a kid, I thought Schemer was Gilbert Gottfried.
I did too, I think.
Like, for some reason I knew. How did I know what Gilbert Gottfried looked like?
Iago, the parrot in
Yeah,
Aladdin was
but
him.
he's a fucking, he's a parrot.
Well, yeah, but I mean, naturally, anytime I had, questions like that.
You would just
Like-
Google it.
Yeah.
God, they didn't exist back then.
Yeah, it
That's
did.
a weird thought.
Yep.
But no,
Yeah.
I would ask my mom, and then the next time she was watching a movie that person was in, she would be like, "Get in here! This is who that character you like is."
You know what? Chances are I probably saw it, like, Disney's no stranger to showing, like, the actors in the booths doing their roles and stuff.
Yeah.
So, like, chances are I probably saw that.
Yeah.
And then Aladdin was, like, one of my favorite movies as a wee Kindleach, besides Little Mermaid and that other one, what came out?
Lion King.
The Great Mouse Detective.
Yeah.
Fucking love that movie. I can almost quote that movie in its entirety.
Me too, dude.
Because I had a bizarre obsession with it in college.
And then I did too. It was weird. That was a really weird time.
Why did I watch it so many times? I mean, it's a great movie still. I'm not sick of it, but it's like, fuck, why?
It was a fever.
What? It was.
It's a fever that you get when you pet rats and read Sherlock at the same time.
So it's like
it
a
affects your
Sherlock
mind.
rat toxoplasmosis? Like,
Yes,
Hentavirus.
that's exactly what it is.
The what?
I said, so it's like a weird Sir Arthur Conan Doyle hentavirus.
Hentai virus sounds like my kind of... sounds like my kind of disease.
I got one of those, and I had to send $50 to the FBI to get my computer back. That's an actual scam.
What?
Certain virus makers will make a virus that just makes your computer completely unusable, and if you turn it on, it's like, your computer has been seized by the FBI. You need to go to Walmart and buy a $100 cash on demand thing and send it to this totally not shady address to get use of your computer back.
Oh my god, that's like... That guy's gotta be rich, man.
Why wouldn't you just go to that address with a gun? And
Because it's in India.
oh,
Gonna have a hard time going there. with a gun unless you hid the gun in your stomach. And shoot him with your anus. You wasn't expecting that, were you, Raj? And he's like, my name's not Raj.
My name's Ted.
Yeah, my name.
you shoot the one.
My name's Ted.
You shoot the closest white tourist that you see.
Yeah. And you're like, I knew it.
I was gonna say you shoot an Indian man, and you're in India, by the way, and he goes, "Ow! What the hell was that for? What in tarnation did I do?"
It's like a big cowboy hat on and everything. This is what happens when we go buck wild on Frankenstein Control. That's what happens when you go to hell, just like Fievel. And Littlefoot, and it's Tree Star, but it ain't Tree Star anymore, because it's on fire. You know what else is on fire? Everybody who's been listening to this podcast that will have to wait till next week to catch the next one, because they'll be in hell. Until then.
Mm-hmm. We are your only savior.
Mm-hmm. Here on Frankenstein Control, we'll free you from hell.
Now even you know I am a menace. I hand you the secrets to save the entire human race and the entire universe.
Frankenstein Control cannot actually free you from hell.